I heard back from the director of licensing at Steve Jackson Games that our Game Aid is legal. We are now officially unofficial, since Steve Jackson Games really doesn't have third-party support. But now we can do everything above board, assuming we still follow their copyright and licensing issues. But let's get into it. This is the release video for 0.9.1.2 and 3. Nick added some fantastic stuff for the modifier bucket. First one I'll show you is the scaling factor. Here is a scale of large, I believe, but you can go into the system setting and choose something else. I'll go with very small for those laptop users, and there it is. Now, I can't play with that. My eyes would never be able to read it, but if you're running on a 1024 by 768 laptop, that will fit. The next cool thing that he added was the ability to add journal entries into the modifier bucket. Here in System Settings, you click on Select Bucket Journals, and then you pick which journal entries will appear in the modifier bucket. So I'll put my perception checks and maybe advanced on-the-fly formulas in there. And now when you bring up the modifier bucket, these two arrows appear. Well, actually, they're always there. But now if you click on them, they bring up the journal entries that you had assigned. One of our users asked for support for the drag ruler module, so we added that in, especially if you have flight movement. Remember, you can bring up the editor, select Show Move Flight, and now the move will have both ground and air movement. And if you're using the drag ruler module, ground movement is green, sprinting is yellow, flight is orange, and then red is too far. We've added the ability to make a blind roll by holding down the control key. So here's a blind roll for strength, and the GM's chat is on the right. We've always had, if you hold down the shift key, you make a private roll, so you see the results, but nobody else does. There have been a few updates to the chat commands. Now, if you select an actor, it will actually select it in Foundry, so you'll see the orange highlight go around Bog, which means then you can then execute the status command since it deals with selection. And now Bog is prone because he's sleeping. The send modifier bucket 2 and the /sendMB commands now work for assistant GMs. But note, this only affects connected clients. If you have some players that are not connected yet, they're going to maintain their old modifier bucket. So when you do a show modifier buckets, you'll see what they had previously, and no amount of changing will change them until they connect. We've added the ability to identify skills or spells in the on-the-fly formulas. In the rare case you have a spell and a skill given the same name. The current S: notation searches through skills first, then spells. But if you need to, you can use SK for only skills or SP for only spells. Also, we changed the order of the /remote command so that it matches the same order as the /sendMB command. And besides a slew of bug fixes, as always, we've added some system setting. One of the system settings shows you user-created items. You can see these blue bookmark tags here. This indicates that this was an item created by the user and it will be saved during an import, so it doesn't get overwritten during the import. This is really useful when the users take notes or if they add their own consumable items and then it doesn't get overwritten by the import. But you must remember, if the user edits a note that comes from GCS or GCA, it will get overwritten during the next import. So if they want to create notes that survive the imports, you should have them add a new note. And the last feature was requested by one of our users. They wanted to use the equipped flag to indicate whether or not something was being carried. Currently, GCS assumes that anything in the equipment list is carried and anything in the other equipment list is not carried. So that determines how much weight you have. But in their playing style, they like to use the equipped to quickly determine whether they've dropped something or picked something up. So you can see here, Lady Cereal is in light encumbrance, and if I unequip her light scale armor, it switches down to the none encumbrance. And this is a system setting you can turn on or off. By default, it's off. And that's it. I know it's quick, but I really wanted to release and show you the fantastic work Nick has done on the modifier bucket, and I'm told there's more to come. So I hope you enjoy the features in the new world of 0.9 legal, unofficial Game Aid. Yay! And as always, thank you for watching.